Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Hello.
Brian's Basement. My name's Brian, and this is my basement. So thanks for tuning in for another week. We have a very special guest this week, and I'm really excited about this show. So I hope you are too. So I'm gonna start off playing a song for y'all, and then we'll introduce our guest today. This song is called "Knock in My Car." They say these things happen with time. No need to worry, just keep a careful eye on the slow deterioration as things all fall apart. There is a knock in my car. I don't know where it comes from. Somewhere between the wreck and the breakdown that's to come. My constant reminder that what you are is all you are. There is a knock in my car. It's funny how some things aren't built to last, and time doesn't heal all wounds, and all things do not last. My solemn companion, so long as it will start, there is a knock in my heart. There is a knock in my heart. All right, thank you very much. We're going to try a new thing this week. We've got Skype going directly through the thing. Are we up on, do we got this set up? Oh, we do, great. So, without further ado, I'm guest tonight. Well, it's actually two guests. Tonight we have two out of the three members of Peaceful Sorrow, Adam Yust and Ping Chen. How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing great. How are you guys doing with this? I heard that there's some goofy things going on in OTR where you live with the pandemic.
Yeah, there were videos going around of people crowding in the streets down here and stuff. So
Wow, that's crazy. But you guys are hanging in there, right?
yes,
All right, fantastic.
yeah, we took our RV and went out to my parents' cabin in Indiana.
Well,
So
there you
we're
go.
staying out there right now.
Refuge from the storm.
Right.
Great. So why don't we kick it off with a song here? You got a first song for us? You wanna introduce?
Sure. Yeah. This is one that my buddy Scott Williams, who was actually on last week.
Previous guest of the show, yeah.
Yeah. He wrote this whole song and he brought it to me and asked me if I could do something with it. He said that he just couldn't seem to figure out exactly what needed to be done with it. So I kind of wrote some lyrics and used the chorus that he had, and yeah, we kind of collaborated on it. And we wrote it right before we left for our trip.
Fantastic, and we'll talk about Scott and the trip later. So what's the title of the song?
Scenic Route.
All right, this is Peaceful Sorrow with Scenic Route here on Brian's Basement.
What do you see when you look into my eyes? And is it the shape of the shadows we make it? Or is it the colors of the wind and the rain? It's been such a long, long day. I took the long way back home. The scenic route has never been around. Arriving on time. Smile, the thread holds your heart. The fear of the unknown overtakes you. I hear your mind ticking like an old worn out clock. With each breath, memory fades. Been such a long, long day. Took the long way back home. The scenic route has never been about arriving on time. So pack your bags, it's time to leave here. Count the change in that old tin can. And sell all your things to put some gas in the tank. 'Cause we ain't never coming back home.
All right, that was awesome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Oh boy, my. So for the viewers out there, I can't see Ping and Adam, and they can only kind of see me. So I'm hoping that they missed that exchange.
I totally, yeah, totally didn't see anything.
All right. Well, let's talk about how you guys how y'all got into music. Like, did either of you grow up in musical homes, or I know like Scott mentioned like the church, and a lot of songwriters I hear get into it from the church. So like, what brought you into music way back when?
Do you want to start?
Okay.
Yeah.
I started to play piano when I was 6, and it was forced by my mom. And
I've been
then, and then when I was 10 years old, my mom, because my sister was in the string orchestra, and then my mom was asking, "Hey, do you want to play viola?" Because they need a violist. And then that's how I started to play my viola. And I love it.
So a question about that. So viola is arguably less common than a violin, right?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
do you play the violin?
I do play violin, but I didn't start with violin. I actually started to play violin about a year ago.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the parallel I'm seeing is because I play a ukulele. People ask me if I was a guitar player first, but I wasn't. I actually learned how to play this first, and I really only started learning guitar about a year ago too. So
Nice.
you know how that goes. How about you, Adam? What brought you into strumming and singing?
So when I was like 20 years old, I was taking care of my grandpa, and kind of like a home healthcare kind of thing. And we were just sit around and I'd make him food and we'd watch TV and stuff. And after a while, I'd just decided, instead of just sitting there watching Benny Hill episodes, I should probably do something productive. And I bought this little cheap $50 acoustic guitar and started teaching myself some chords. But as far as writing, I've been writing poetry since like middle school and beginning of high school.
Super cool. Yeah, because a lot of people start playing and writing at different times. What kind of stuff were you playing when you first started out? Like, what were you inspired by?
Um, well, my buddy Dan Barnes. Actually, I gotta make a call out or a shout out to the person I bought my first guitar from was my best friend Tristan. If you're watching,
Nice
Black
shout out,
Betty.
Tristan.
Yeah, Tristan. So my buddy Dan Barnes, he was the one that really kind of inspired me to pick up a guitar because he played a lot, and the stuff that we would play was, I mean, this was what, 15 years ago. So back then we were playing like a lot of grunge stuff, like Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains, and man, the list goes on with those
Yeah,
bands.
that's like similar to what our first guest on the show, Stefan, said. He said Nirvana was like one of his first songs.
Yeah.
I think the first song I learned to play on the ukulele was the Yellow Submarine. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so
That's a
that's
tough one too.
yeah, I even did all the sound effects. No, and Ping, I'm assuming you're doing mostly classical. Were you doing any kind of rock or pop stuff on the piano or the viola?
Not really. But I started to play a lot ukulele during this quarantine time, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, I just learned a song by Vance Joy on the ukulele.
Yep. And she did
And
a cover song of Alice in Chains with me.
yeah.
Yeah, on it.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, that's cool. So how, uh, when did Peaceful Sorrow start about? Like when did you and this would be a good time to mention that there are three members of Peaceful Sorrow.
Yes, there are.
And
It-
unfortunately,
Actually, there's four really now. We actually picked up a bass player as well recently.
really great.
Yeah, so Indigo Hall plays
Shout out to
cello with
Indigo.
us. Yeah, shout out to Indigo. Ping and I have been on quarantine for like 18 days now, so we would love to have her sitting here playing with us too. But yeah, with the circumstances, it was just better just to kind of everybody be at home right now. So
Right, totally. I'm thinking eventually we could have a redux for all the virtual guests, have them come back and do a live thing. I think would be super cool.
yeah. Once all this is over, for sure.
So when does how did you get started with Peaceful Sorrow?
Actually, Ping and I met. It's almost, was it 2 years
Two
now?
years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago. And at the time, I was writing. I had a bunch of songs written, and I was still working on some new ones. And we met, and I played her a couple of the songs, and she was like, "Why play viola?" And then we kind of just sat down one day, and it was like magic. It was like clockwork. We just started vibing really well off each other, and her name means peace
In Chinese.
in Chinese, so that's where the peaceful came from. And then all of my songs were super sad, so it was peace and sorrow, peaceful sorrow kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's awesome! I never knew
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this show because I learned little tidbits like that. Like, how would that ever come up in conversation other than in the context of a terrible basement interview show?
Right?
So okay, so
Yeah, not many people ever ask that question.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I want to talk. I want to get back to talking about the viola with your songs and how that affects it. But I think maybe it's time for another song. Maybe.
yeah, for sure. We can
So
do that.
we're gonna play for us.
So everything we're playing for you tonight is new. We're basically in the process of finalizing, like mixing and mastering our new album, which will be coming out in the summer.
Very nice.
But yeah, all these are new songs. So what you're gonna hear is New Day.
All right, this is New Day by Peaceful Sorrow in Brian's Basement.
The sun, it shines through the windows and the blinds. The birds are calling out her name. She fights with the sheep for one more hour of sleep. The sound of the cars, they keep her awake. And Eleanor, face down on the floor. If only you could give a little more. And Eleanor, your clothes are torn, feeling abused and so scorned. Feet on the floor as she opens up the door. And it's the start of a brand new day. The smell of fresh rain washes away all of her pain. Her heart she wears on her sleeve. And Eleanor, face down on the floor. Only you could give a little more. And Eleanor, your clothes are torn, feeling abused and so scorned. Eleanor, oh, Eleanor. And Eleanor, oh, Eleanor.
All right, hell yeah, guys. You guys played that one on Soundcheck the other day. I thought that was a super, super cool song. So I want
Thank
to
you
talk
very
a
much.
little bit about y'all's songwriting process. So I think that last song was a great example of what the viola adds to the kind of normal singer-songwriter
Oh yeah.
music. So do you write with that in mind, or like what does it produce any challenges, or what's it like playing with a real instrument?
Um, to be honest, like I am so grateful for what Ping and Indigo, and now Sean, bring to the table when it comes to writing, because when I sit down and write a song, in my head, it's it starts with guitar or piano, and I kind of think of a melody line for vocals, and then I start, either writing lyrics to it, or I'll take something that I've already written and, kind of form it into fitting into a certain chord progression. Um, and then when I go back and listen to it, which one of my songs is called "Best of Me," and the chorus in it, I say in my head is a symphony, because when I'm listening to the song back, I hear all these other instruments come in, and I just know different parts of when stuff timing wise should come in. And then when I met Ping and we started playing together, she's classically background trained, so for her, she was like, she just knew how to bring exactly what you know the song needed. It was like perfect. She would sit down and start playing, and it was there. So, and then when we added Indigo, it was the same way. Indigo is very good at improvising as well, and she can just sit down, you start playing something, and within a few minutes, she has something written, ready to go.
So, Ping, does that is that a challenge for you coming from a classical background to doing more kind of like a folksy vibe? Like, how is that how is that different than the classical stuff?
The classical stuff is more like um, music theory. Everything is about music theory. So when I first started playing with him, I'm just playing like basic chords progression, like fifth, root notes, third notes, and then it's kind of hard for me to improvise. So and then one day I just started to listen to a lot of different kinds of folk music she's
Anna
playing.
Tivel's one of them. Like, we love Anna
And
Tivel.
then we started to jam for a little bit, and then it's getting better. It's getting better with improvising. But
Oh yeah. Yeah, when we were on the road, she was just like nonstop listening to like different genres of music. Like, all right, I got to figure out how to bluegrass fiddle. I got to figure out how to like, folk play, and it's just like, so she's come like a long way since we first started. Yeah, you've gotten so good at like improvising and doing things that you're not normally forced to do in the classical world. So
Yeah, and I mean that's really tough. I have trouble even figuring out parts for my stuff that I record all the instruments down here in the
yeah,
basement. Even I'm just like, I don't know. Play the root chord and maybe like a triad. That's perfect. So that's
right.
I can't do it. So I want to transition and I want to talk about that trip. So for viewers that might not know, uh, Ping and Adam went on a uh, super long, like they went on a tour.
Yeah,
Last
three
year
months.
was this last year?
Yeah, it was
last September.
September, October, November, and we got back in middle of December.
Yeah, so like a big and all over the country, right? So tell me a little bit how that came about. Like what got you thinking about doing that, and how did it come about?
First off, I want to say that we're so grateful that we were able to do that,
Yeah.
and that the time period of us getting back and then everything happening now,
Yeah,
it was
totally.
only within a month, and it's like we're very grateful that we, got back and we're safe here. And because we were out we were in New York City in December, um, and we were in Washington in what was that, November and stuff. So we were in parts that are not doing very well right now. So thank you for letting us come
Yeah.
back and
Yeah,
make it safe.
we're glad to have you back in the old Cincinnati.
But yeah, as far as the tour went, it was amazing. We did 30, or we had 32 shows lined up. We did 28 of them because of a snowstorm at the end of it. And yeah, we went to basically like
All around.
all the way completely around the United States. We didn't hit anything in the center. It was like up north, all the way out to Seattle, down through California to San Diego, and then Austin and New Orleans and Florida, and then all the way up the East Coast to New York City.
That's incredible. Can you just give a uh little detail about like how did you go about booking those gigs. I
Oh
can't even
yeah.
book gigs in Cincinnati, so I'm trying to imagine how.
It's really
It's really tough.
it's really tough. I feel like it's tough here to
Mm-hmm.
book gigs. Um, as far as doing the tour, we basically would we would look at like a major city, and then we would go onto Google and find, type in like folk live venue, and that would kind of narrow the search down to, our genre of music. And that way we know if we contact that place, we're getting in somewhere where people enjoy what we're doing. Um, and yeah, we probably sent out 500 emails, maybe got
Damn.
65 back. And this is within, probably 2 to 3 weeks, but while we were setting it up. So we sent out 500 emails, and within 3 weeks, we got, 50 back, 60 back. And then we kind of weeded out the places that we thought might not be the best fit for us, and booked from there, and kind of just, told each one when we'll be in that city at that time. And it was a full-time job for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to do, and it's all the um, most songwriter interviews that I've heard, they always say like they'll book one tour and then they'll never do it again because it's so hard, and it's also like very different than anything else in music. So I mean, that's pretty amazing. Have you ever thought about doing being like a manager and stuff? Because clearly you got the chops for it.
I mean, if I was gonna do that much effort, I would personally just do it for our band, because that's basically what I mean. That was like me promoting like our entire band, So like for me to do that for other people, I don't know if I would literally have the time to do that for multiple people. There's so many hours that go into it.
And it's not worth the suffering for somebody
But
else, right?
but like you said, the people that when they get done, they're like they don't ever want to do that again. I think now would be easier to do it a second time.
Right.
And if you do well at a venue and they like it, most of them, want you to come back. So after we got home, we actually had people reach back out and say, hey, if you're back out in this area, let us know. We'll book you on whatever date you're out here. So
Wow, that's
so that
great.
that comes nice too.
Yeah, the just building relationships and stuff with
Oh yeah.
that's amazing. So what was the best city or venue that you played? What was your favorite place to play?
You want to say it on three? 1, 2, 3. Portland,
Portland.
Oregon.
Portland.
It is. Shout out to Portland, Oregon. They were so kind to us. Like I mean, a lot of places were very good to us when we went there. But Portland, the people were very kind. Like even we got in an Uber one night, and the driver invited us to
House show.
come to a house show, and we like randomly showed up at some stranger's house, and there was like 30 people sitting in a living room, and we got up in front of them and played like a
Oh,
few
no
songs,
shit.
and I mean they were like clapping, and everybody was just so into everything that was going on that night. It was amazing. Portland's so great. I would love to live there.
See, it has that reputation. And I've always wondered if like that's actually real or just kind of like a myth or whatever. But
Coming from a West Sider in Cincinnati, I couldn't have
ew.
been I couldn't have been more um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like accepted there. Like just walking in, everybody was like full on, like they give you a chance. It's not like clicky, kind of like other places that you go to where you kind of have to like make friends. It was just welcoming.
That's super cool. Now, you mentioned earlier that you ride on the road.
I do, yeah.
Is that something that comes naturally?
Um, Writing for me is there's nothing that's natural about it. It's like I might not write a song for a month, and then out of nowhere I'll sit down one day and write 3 songs in one day. So it's it's just like I guess whatever happens that day that inspires me or whatever puts me in that right mood to sit down and write. But yeah, for some reason on the road we wrote 3 songs on the road, and recorded one of the new ones that's going to be on our album. We recorded in the RV, which is amazing, and the sound quality turned out really good for record. I couldn't believe how good it sounds for recording in an RV.
Is that the Cincinnati single you have on your
No,
website?
no,
That sounds good too.
that one we did here, and we did in parts of it in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
But no, that one, the first one we played, Scenic Route.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that we started writing that right before we left here, and then we had it finished by the time we got to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and just pulled over and hung some sheets up and recorded everything right inside the RV. It was pretty cool.
So cool. So you're not only writing, you're recording on the road. That is so cool. So
Well, it gets boring. It's almost as boring as the time we're going through right now because there's a lot of sitting around when you're on the road.
Well, I would think so. Like it's kind of the same thing, and you're also just kind of stuck with one other person for the duration of it.
The feeling wasn't
Kim is
stuck
giving
with
me
one
a
other
smirk right
person
now, like,
until
stuck.
it wasn't stuck with one other person until like probably 2 months in, and then we were ready to like strangle each other by the end of the day. Yeah.
That's what I hear too. So that's perfectly par for the course. So are you planning on doing this in the future? And is another tour on the way?
So yeah, we want to release the second album and get all the songs out and start sending them out so we have something new to send to all these places that we've played, and hopefully we'll be invited back out to play. I can tell you our favorite place that we did play was, in my opinion, was Artichoke Cafe.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, that was in Portland. That was a beautiful venue, very intimate. Like they dim the lights and it's like complete black, and you're up on stage with, like 20 people just staring at you in complete silence, which is super nerve-wracking.
What's
but
it like to play to an attentive audience?
We were shaking from the first song until the last song. You can still hear it in my voice on the recording in the last song.
My bow shaking like
It was bad.
That's such a incredible experience. So I personally enjoyed the updates from the road on your Facebook page. So I hope that you'll continue to do that. How about I think we've done quite a bit of yik yakking here. How about another song?
Yeah, let's do. So this song I wrote on the road.
Okay, great.
Let me find it really quick. New day. Okay, here we go. It's called Infinite Sky.
All right, we got Peaceful Sorrow in Brian's Basement. This is Infinite Sky.
The car, searching for second start on the road to where God only knows. Across the country in 13 days, Cincinnati to Elliott Bay and down the coast of California. This endless road, watching time pass by, reaching out for the stars in an infinite sky. 10,000 miles and 32 bars, playing music as we pour out our hearts, leave pieces behind. Chasing down this impossible dream, questioning life, what does it all mean? Tell me now. just give me a sign. Headed down this endless road, watching time pass us by, reaching out for the stars in an infinite sky.
All right. Peaceful Sorrow. That was great, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well,
Thanks to all of you out there hanging in here with us on Brian's Basement.
yeah, we got a decent amount of people out there. A lot of some people shit posting out in the comments. We'd love to see it. Post your best shit posts out there. All right. Well, Ping and Adam, it is the time of the show. Everybody's favorite time of the show. It's the call-in section time. And so all you got to do is you got to give me a call, and I'll answer it. And then if you have a comment or a question for me or Adam or Ping, then we'll try to figure it out on the air. So while we're waiting for a call, the phone is on loud now, so we'll be able to hear it. So we'll start off this section. We'll do our props now. We'll do our props. Again, I don't know how well they can see me or I can see them.
What is that you got there?
I'm going to hold this up to the camera. You see what that is?
Comet. Yeah.
It's a Comet. So why would I hold up a can of Comet?
It's the first show that we played together.
First show that we played together. It was actually the first real show that I played with my current band, and the first show that we did with Peaceful Sorrow, and that was a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
So I saw that walking up my stairs, and I thought that reminds me, and no, I was gonna make a pun, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah. So this is the part where we're just kind of bullshitting. I can start looking at some questions in here, or do you guys have anything that you want to say, or shout out? Good shout out time.
I can't really see who's watching from here, but yeah, just thank you to everybody who has followed us, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for liking our Facebook and Instagram, and helping us out along the way. We appreciate everything you guys are doing for us out there.
Yeah, we got a call. We got a call. So I'm gonna pick it up.
Who we got here?
Let's put it on speakerphone. Hi, you're on Brian's Basement. Who is this?
Hey, this is Scott. What's up, man?
Hey, it's Scott from last episode.
Mr. Williams.
What's that? Yeah. Okay. So can you hear it, Adam?
Yeah.
All right. What you got a question or a comment for me or Adam or Ping?
Well, I was just wondering. I guess this can go for any of you. What's like the best musical advice you guys ever got, and whether that's like music business or like technique or anything? Well, some good advice you guys got.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Scott. We'll answer on the air. So Scott's question was, what is the best musical advice that you've gotten from anybody? And he's kind of left it open-ended. It can be like technically or music or writing or business or whatever it is. So I'll put that up to you guys first. What's the best advice?
You know anything? I'll answer it now if you want to.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So the first band that I was in, back like 15 years ago, I played with Matt Wobnitz, Buffalo Wobs.
Oh, yeah.
And back then, the band that they had was the Sour Grapes, and they needed someone to play keyboard, and I didn't really know how to play keyboard, but I kind of just stepped in and learned what they were doing. And
Been there, done that.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, here, play this, and I was like, whatever you guys need. I just want to be cool. I want to be part of this band. So, so I jumped in, and one day I I was working on an original song, and back then I didn't sing any songs in front of anybody. I was always way too scared for that. And we had a little recording studio down on Spring Grove, and he came in and he said he heard me singing, I guess, outside and caught me. And Wob said, "Don't worry about what other people think. Like you're holding back your voice. Just sing. However it comes out, people will connect with the emotion that's in your voice. It doesn't matter if you sound good or you sound like shit. Sorry if I can even say that. If you sound bad.
You can say whatever you want here.
As long as you're putting everything that you have into it and there's emotion behind it, people will like it." And that like opened up my eyes to like really just belt out, even if it didn't sound good. And I did that for a long time until I started learning actually how to kind of form notes. Back then was real bad.
Yeah, I
What
think
about you, Ping?
being genuine just carries. That shines through anything else more than anything. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah.
I would say for me, and just because I'm thinking about it recently, would be because from Joe Pug, he just did a virtual concert last night. I was watching. I was kind of reflecting on his podcast, and one of the things he says on his podcast is a good song will carry you through more than anything else. So if whenever I'm bummed about trying to book gigs or trying to do recording and all this stuff, I always think about that because it's the song that is why we're all here, and that's why we're all doing this. And he says, and a lot of his guests say that like a lot of stuff they did, it was just that one great song. So I always keep that in mind to keep chasing that
For sure.
that song.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Well, that was a great question, Scott. We're just waiting for another one. If you guys can call up while we're talking, and I'll put you on some version of hold that I come up with, and so don't be shy, call in.
And by the way, Brian's number is 911 47.
My number, man.
While we're waiting, I'm gonna grab another glass of water if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, go for it. That's what the call-in section's for.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a 20-minute break. This is our gig tonight.
I'll take the calls. You those guys go sit down.
I'll go grab
No, just say it. I get you.
Thanks.
If we don't get any more calls, then I'm just gonna start calling people. And,
Okay, that works too.
And I've seen who's in the chat, so I know who's watching.
We can start calling people instead of them calling us.
Oh, they call.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna start calling people. I'll call Jen. All right. I gotta find out how to call people on my phone. I've only had this phone for 12 years, and I don't know how to call anybody on it. I think she hung up on me. Oh wow, that's not good. Well, we'll give her a call back. Try it again.
All right, I'm back online here.
All right, great. We're calling people now. Oh, hey, you're on Brian's Basement. Who is this?
This is Jen.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for calling into the show. Do you have a comment or a question that you'd like to ask me or Ping or Adam?
I do. I was actually wondering if Ping ever tries to get her band to play more classically like her on occasion instead of like to go away from like the folk stuff.
That is a great question, Jen. Thank you for calling in. So the question was to Ping. It was, do you ever try to get the band to play more classical stuff? You ever try to stretch Adam a little bit and Indigo? And I'm assuming Indigo's classically trained too.
Yeah, she is. I did try to teach him some theory so we can do some stuff together, but he never really got into theory at all. But
I know nothing about music, like at all, really.
but in the recording, we did some classical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with piano and then me playing viola and violin and all that. Yeah, in the recording.
Yeah, the new album has a lot of other stuff in it too. There's like breakdowns in it where it's just, it breaks down to just being like piano with different viola tracks and violin and all these things together that make like an orchestra. And actually, there's a couple of them on it that sound really cool like that. So
awesome. And I received 2 texts that the audience wants to know. They want to know, Ping. They want to know your best advice that you were ever given about music.
Oh, okay, let me think. So, my teacher, when I was in CCM, the best advice she ever gave me is, when you're on stage, don't think about what other people think about you. Just play from your heart, and practice makes perfect. That's really important. But also, when you're on stage, try not to think about being perfect. Just
Right.
play what you like.
just play
with
how
your
it comes out.
with your emotion.
Yeah.
I know personally that when I start worrying about that kind of stuff on stage, my mind goes elsewhere and I kind of go in autopilot. And when that happens, the if I've like recorded it or something and I remember that, it sounds like crap. And so like really like it really is completely counterproductive to worry about that
Oh, yeah.
stuff. All right. Well, we're gonna do one more call here. We're gonna do and since I don't know what's going on with the crowd here, but so I'm just gonna call someone else. This is everyone's fault. This isn't on me. I don't think he's picking up, the bastard.
You need to put your number across the bottom of the screen so people can just be
That
like,
would be terrifying.
yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Oh wow, we got a voicemail. I'll call. Okay, I got a tip to call one more person. Sorry guys. My audience is terrible. So they're all terrible and bad people. Wait.
Oh.
Oh no, I've got two contacts for this person I'm trying to call. Oh, they're the same. It'll be fine. Who knows? We'll see. The anticipation is just killing me right now.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, you're on Brian's Basement. Who is this?
This is Lauren.
Hi, Warren. Do you have a question or a comment for me or Adam or Ping?
I just want to say stay safe, and I appreciate what all of you do.
All right. Well, that's a very safe bet of a comment and a question, but we'll go with it. I think that's a great way to cap off ye old comment section. That was terrible. I don't know what else to say about that.
What did you call her,
You know what
Warren?
would be great right now? Could you guys please play a song and save me from myself on this?
No,
one?
yeah, I'll totally do that. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you gonna play for us?
Is this the last one we're doing?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
the song 4.
So this is gonna be, well, this is the single that we released on our website.
Oh, good, great. I've had
Peaceful
this stuck in my head,
Sorrow.
like, all day.
Oh, really? Good.
And what's it called?
It's actually called Cincinnati, which
is where we are.
right. And I wrote some of this when I was here and wrote some of this on the road, and it's pretty much about leaving Cincinnati, and basically all the things that I'm leaving behind when I do leave.
All right. Great. This is Peaceful Sorrow here on Brian's Basement, and the song is called Cincinnati.
And if you want to check the if you want to check the single out that we did, we have a full recording on peacefulsorrow.com. There's just one song on there from the new album, so check that out, and we'll be adding some more soon.
Awesome.
This is Cincinnati.
Peacefulsorrow.com.
Okay.
Snow-covered hills, off in the distance, blistering winters, dirt-covered shoes. The city lights blur, this trail never ends. So far from my home, can't turn around. Oh, Cincinnati, you're behind me. Ohio River, would you please guide me to the place I was meant to be? The land of my father, the land of my mother, the land of my brothers, the land of the free. There's too many burdens, too many lovers, an empty heart from bridges I've burned. Oh, Cincinnati, in my rear view. Oh, Ohio, look deep in my eyes, and as I say, I'll ask goodbye. What future awaits? Whose path will I cross? How am I here? And why must we go? These questions I scream into the darkness, as if somebody was listening. Replies I've never heard. Oh, Cincinnati, to my back now. Oh, Ohio, you're in the background. And for a new city, I am back.
All right. Well, guys, like I said, I've had that stuck in my head. Yeah, ever since we talked about doing this, I went to your website and was listening to it. Now, we did have one question from the comments that came through. I can't read the comments unless I'm not here, but I did. But thank you for everyone that texted me about this comment. The question was from Coda, right?
Ah, yeah.
And
I was getting ready to do a shout out to him.
yeah, and he wants to know what was your favorite non-music memory from the tour, which is a great question. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Coda.
Well, now you put me on the spot, Coda. No, I was actually going to tell this story too. So we went out to we went to Minneapolis first, and then we played in Boise and Seattle, Tacoma, all through Washington and Oregon, and down to through California. And Indigo actually flew out and met us in uh, Portland, Oregon, or Tacoma, Washington, and we played there. And then she went all the way down through California with us. I think we did like 8 shows or something with her, 7, I don't remember. But from there, I drove the RV from San Diego to Austin and then to Louisiana. And Coda actually came to Louisiana with his wife Melise, and I mean they came all the way from Tampa, Florida, flew out to see us, and we played for them in there in Louisiana, and then they actually got in the RV and rode back to Tampa where we played with us in the RV, and it was amazing. Me and Coda have been best friends since like 5th grade, so it's always good to have somebody like that come out, like especially after we've been out for so long. It was nice to see like a friendly face that was supportive and just jumped right in with us. And he actually is an amazing pianist. He's the main reason that I started playing piano. Watching him sit down and play on the keys. He grew up playing piano since he was a kid, and played in a family band. They went on tour with Leonard Skinner actually.
Shit, wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
he's phenomenal. So yeah, thank you, Coda, for that.
Yeah, great. What about you, Ping? Anything that stands out, non-music related? Eat a great burrito anywhere? Anything like that?
Let me think. Oh,
Best part of the trip.
best part of the trip. Oh, when we got to New York City, I got to hang out with my sister because she lived there, and before that we haven't seen each other for like 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm happy that we got to hang out in New York City and took Adam to explore New York City.
Yeah, it was my first time
Yeah.
really going to explore, so
Yeah.
it was nice.
Well, that's super cool. Well, again, thank
Especially when you have somebody in New York, because when you go to New York and you walk around, you have no idea where you're going or what you're doing. But her sister goes to school in Manhattan, so she like knew like tons of good places to eat too, and like yeah, it's always nice having like a tour guide when you go somewhere.
There's just so much. You know, it's just so hard to suss out what's actually good in there. So that's awesome. Well,
One more
again-
shout out really quick too.
Oh yeah,
on the
absolutely.
road.
Well, you know,
on
I
the
was just
road,
gonna say, we're gonna transition into plugs and shout outs. So why
cool.
don't we go ahead and shout out?
All right. Well, first off, thank you, Mom and Dad, for creating me and supporting me and doing everything that you do for me. Love you and my brothers and my whole family, Missy, Tasha, yeah, everybody who's watching.
My mom and dad watch every week. They're like the only
Do they?
consistent people I can count on. Yeah.
My mom's my biggest fan. And Liz, woof, and Alicia, Sparks, and Lee, and yeah, thank you guys. And Alicia actually had us when we were in New York. My good friend Alicia, that I grew up with, she lives in Jersey with her boyfriend Aram, and they had us come pull the RV in there. They let us pull up and hook up to their house, which was awesome. And they cooked us Thanksgiving dinner. It was so amazing. Yeah, that was another memorable. There's a lot of good memories from that trip. I'm ready to do it again.
Great. Your website is peacefulsorrow.com.
Correct.
And is that the best? Where else can we find your music online?
We have a Instagram, which is band underscore Peaceful Sorrow. And then you can just look us up on Facebook. We have just a Peaceful Sorrow band page there. We also have an entire album on Spotify, iTunes. That's our old album. The new one will be releasing in the summer. Hopefully everything's over so we can do like an album release party or something. So
yeah, that's great. And yeah, check out their stuff, everybody out there. It's real good. It's real nice to listen to. And you both did a live stream. I think it was last week maybe. And just if you go on that Facebook if you follow them on Facebook, you'll be able to get notifications for their next live stream, which they may or may not be doing. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do one eventually here soon for sure.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for being on the show, Ping and Adam. I
Thank
really
you so much for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
great.
this is
And
such a great idea to get, everybody together that, can't be out in public right now. This is a brilliant idea, Brian. Brilliant.
thank you. I just want to get drunk in my basement, but anyway, yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Go check out their stuff, and we'll be in touch, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Thank
All
you.
right. So thanks everybody for tuning in this week. Another week of Brian's Basement has come and gone. I'm gonna play one more song here to close it out. This is a new one. God. So this thing is. Anyway, this is a new one. So I'm gonna try to remember all the words and how to play the harmonica with it.
Can I just sing harmony in the background?
Yeah, sure. just start trying to anticipate the chords and play along.
Ping, play along with
I was
them,
gonna say,
yeah.
I bet Ping could actually do it.
She could.
But
Within
after-
2 seconds, she'll figure out
After
that.
she outed you as not being a theory guy. No,
Right, yeah, no.
You're the one that has me concerned. Alrighty, here we go. This song is called Socks. Old socks drying on the line, brittle and riddled with holes. He'll stomp through the thin cotton and proceed to where the soles hold free in abundant power of the sun that fades all colors except the stains. Threads unravel one by one till there's useless rags remain. They were elastic and whole. They were new and shiny white. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. They were once elastic and whole. They were new and shiny white. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. They were once elastic and whole. They were new and shiny white. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. All right, thank you everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you next week, and until then, have a great and safe week.